I was born and raised in Michigan, and then I decided it was too cold, so I moved to Miami, Florida. And when I was in Miami, I decided, I was teaching school, and I decided I needed to move a trunk. Well, that was not such a good idea. The trunk blew out my back, and I looked at the surgeon's report, and he said she lifted a truck. And I thought, well, no wonder I blew out my back. No, it was a trunk. And I blew out L4 and L5, and I didn't know any better, and I tried to go to a chiropractor, and I couldn't even lay down, and I'd sit up, and of course there was no space, so it was squat. So from then on, I did a lot of physical therapy over the years, and it would get better, and it would calm down, and then it would flare, and it would get better, and it would calm down. And I moved back to Michigan in 2012. And I had started with Andrew when he was first getting going over at Building 50. And that was my first introduction to this functional movement style of therapy, which was so very different from anything I had experienced. I was used to lifting weights, and I did a lot of that, and this was totally different. This is the kind of movement that you do every day. And the back was happier, and I kept going, and I kept going, and the back got, one gets older, the back got worse, and I started coming here, because I knew Andrew, so when they asked me where did I want to go, and I said, if you don't have a place that you demand I go, I want to go here. So I continued here with him. And something had happened to my left hip, somewhere around 2005 or 7. And I went on a trip with my sister after my mother passed, and I couldn't walk all of a sudden. I thought, well, I mean, I hobbled, but I couldn't walk. And the left side of my body, when I tried to stand on my left foot, it just didn't hold me up, it collapsed. And I had no clue what was going on. Nobody seemed to know until I got here. And then one of the therapists, Michael, this was, he looked at my hips and he said, this hip is rotated up. And I limped in. He readjusted everything, worked on the psoas muscle, which was painful. And then I walked out normally for the first time in at least 10 years. And I was just flabbergasted. So of course the psoas says, well, I think I'll go back to where it was. And Michael said, no, you're going back to where I want you. And little by little, they kept changing the therapy so that my left butt cheek said, no, I don't feel like working, and then no. So the right was picking up all the slack, and the left side was getting weaker. So we've been working on that left side. And it finally, it gave me a lot of more years before finally I wanted to have surgery. And everybody says, oh God, don't have surgery, don't have surgery. And I've had lots of surgeries on my hands, on my shoulders, on my right knee. And they said, no back, don't do back. One doctor told me if I don't do something back there, I'd be in a wheelchair by the time I was 85. And I thought, oh, that's not good. And it got worse, and I kept coming, and it would alleviate it and help me create more space and postpone it. Finally, last September, I had a fusion by Dr. Paul Davis, who now is in New Mexico. And it was a phenomenal change. And then I was coming here before, and Nick told me, he said, you've done everything. And I've had shots, and I've had acupuncture, and I go to see an osteopath who adjusts me regularly. Whole different story from chiropractic. It's not, if anybody's never experienced it, they really should. And that was just like putting together a broken Tinker Toy set. And so that was helping me, and I'd come in here and I'd learn how to create space, simple, doable exercises that enables you to make your life much more tolerable and much more pain-free, from how you sleep, the position of your body in bed, picking up everything. And so finally when I said, look, you've helped me so much, but I have to do this surgery. And I was phenomenally lucky. It took 4 hours. I had some spondylolisthesis on L4, L5. He pulled it back to less than 1%. It was about a 2%. Lifted it, fashioned a new disc, locked it in place. Yeah, it was 10 months ago, and every month it gets just better and better and better. Between Andrew and his therapists, who are so understanding and they really give you what you need, they just don't tell you an exercise and go to it, go do it. They watch you. I came and I learned new things for stretching. In my age, you have to stretch. You really have to stretch. So this place is phenomenal. It's giving, it's healing, it's just, if anybody's out there thinking and they're on the fence and I don't know, I don't, come in. They give a lot of, the clinic that he had about backs, and I bought and read the book, it was so good. And I thought, oh, that's why this is, oh. And he sends out, his marketing is incredible. He sends out videos, you can see how the body looks, what the muscles look like, and you can see when your therapist is explaining something, why this is gonna work, rather than just say, do this. And they explain why it's gonna work, what is happening physically, show you pictures, give you video if you need it, give you pictures of you doing it. Oh, that's scary, but, and if you follow up and keep practicing, you're good. So anybody out there who's thinking, or has been going somewhere else, there is no place like this, really. And they're not paying me. Okay, they're not. So this is a good place to go. It really is, and it'll help you function, pick up the groceries, lean down and pet the dog, bend over and clean out the dishwasher, whatever you need. Pick up the kids. Come here, it's good for you.